I have to credit our guy Glenn Coyne with Syracuse.com for putting together some of these fun facts that are kind of mind-blowing. I put fun in quotation marks because kind of mind-blowing numbers here, and a lot of money involved too. Well, we talked about this a little bit in our first episode, how a couple of the first fabs were a little bit delayed. So I'm just going to run through this timeline for you real quick, Greg. The year is 2030. The first fab should have been completed. 33.
And that's also with the administrative building, right? Because the first fab will be fully functional with the admin building. So that first chunk, we are officially manufacturing microchips in 2030. Yeah.
Yes. And I'm going to get into what they're doing right now because they've begun work. They're not doing much. They're not able to do much yet, but they have begun work. 33, the second fab should be completed. Now, here's where things get a bit more interesting. 38, the third fab will be completed. Now, I have an asterisk there because Fabs 3 and 4, the fourth fab, due in 2041. Fabs 3 and 4 are not fully guaranteed, right? They have $25 billion from the state for Fabs 1 and 2. Fabs 3 and 4 not guaranteed. That's going to have to come out of Micron's pocket if what I'm reading is to be true.
Yeah, if we understand correctly, yeah.
Yes. And then 2045 is when they expect peak production. The site is complete. I'll put in air quotes. All right, so now we're going to get into some of these absolutely daunting numbers. And this has to do with what they've just started work on right now. So the first step for this site is to clear 400. So they've begun that, right? They are chopping trees as we speak. They have the company they have hired to do this has until March 31st to get as much of that cleared as they can before they have to stop. The reason they have to stop and wait until November to resume clearing the forest is because there are 2 species of endangered bats that use that site to raise their young. So they are under the gun right now to get as much of it cleared as they possibly can.
Yeah, the push for the environmental permits, they were really trying to get that done by November, so that way they would have had a much longer timeline to get that forest cleared. So it would not surprise me if at the end, when they have to stop clearing, now presumably they will have thought of this and they are obviously prioritizing the site for the admin building in the first fab. Presumably they're doing that, but even still, that is going to be tough, especially when we've got weather like this. That's going to slow things down. So hopefully they are able to be more productive, and maybe we get some favorable weather in February. But that's a tight timeline to be clearing that much acreage.
Absolutely, it is. They're definitely not going to finish all of that, but they're going to do as much as they possibly can by March 31st. 200 acres of that forest that they need to clear is wetland. So wetland needs to be filled and stabilized with a ton of gravel before you can put any massive concrete structure on it. Micron says it will need to import 9 million cubic yards of gravel and fill for this site. The fun little tidbit they wrote here on Syracuse.com is that is enough gravel to fill the JMA Wireless Dome to the roof 4 times over. Incredible.
That's a lot. That's a lot of gravel. And then if I could just note on the wetlands, and
yes, please do.
I'm not an expert on this. My understanding, though, is that when you allocate wetlands for development, then they need to be bought back in other areas.
Exactly.
So I'm currently working with developers who are trying to do like apartments and other things in North Syracuse. And part of the problem they're running into is we're running out of space to buy back the wetlands. Since Micron is occupying so much acreage of the wetlands, now all of a sudden everyone is very tight on how much wetlands can be bought back, the price of buying it back, and where they can be put. So it's putting an additional strain on developers who are trying to get ahead of our housing shortage. They're trying to build apartment complexes, they're trying to build developments, and they're having trouble getting permitting for it because Micron is taking up so much of those wetlands that need to be bought back. It's putting a strain on everybody else as well. So just a little added fun there for all our developer friends.
Yes, from my understanding, if you destroy 1 acre of wetlands, you now need to create 2 acres of wetlands. So think about it this way. Micron's taking away 200 acres of wetland. Well, now we got to create 400 acres of wetland.
Good.
Got to find a place to put all that, right?
Yeah.
So, Greg, how are they going to get all this gravel and fill to the Micron site? because it's not going to be by truck.
Right. Well, and that's what I was going to say. Like, there's already, because they're doing a bunch of construction on 81, and especially that 81 exit at 31, which is ultimately where they need to get the gravel. They're under construction on it. It's not done yet. It's not ready. We already have a little bit of a traffic issue for our standards. Still not bad compared to most of the country. But so my understanding is this is going to be all train tracks all the time. It is just going to be a 24/7 train of gravel running through there.
Incredible number that I'm about to hit you with very soon. So yes, they're going to build a rail spur. Greg, do you know what a rail spur is?
Nope.
Okay, that's fair. It's a short secondary railroad that come off of a main track and loop around, and it's for the purpose of bringing something that you're shipping to a specific facility. So in this case, instead of having a ton of trucks clog up our roads and bringing all this gravel to the site, they will have a rail spur. So all this gravel will come off of a rail, go on the side track that they have to build, and that won't be built until June, by the way. And then they will have all of the gravel come in by rail, drive it right up to the site, drop off the gravel, and go back for more. So trains are going to come in and out of that rail spur area from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day, 7 days a week for the next 20 years. Gregory Wakeman. I will be 53. I will be 53 when the last train full of gravel is delivered to the Micron site. That is disgusting.
And that's if there's no delays, right? You will be 53 if everything goes perfectly. You're going to be 53 when the last train is done.
That is insane.